Hello, everyone. It's Saturday today. So, tomorrow I'm not doing a vlog video, but you have me today. So, we're gonna. I honestly didn't know what I was gonna talk about today because there's other things that are preoccupying my mind right now, aside from philosophy, that I start to notice well, I need to do a little bit more reading on philosophy so I can. My hair's a little weird. Anyways, is read more of philosophy so I can come up with novel ideas in these vlog videos instead of scrounging at scraps. So that's I think tomorrow as my day of rest, but also my day of review, that I'm gonna think a little bit about how it is focusing more on getting some kind of reading in. I do read a lot already, but I feel like there's not a time where I just sit down to digest the information by writing it down and absorbing it into my own thought. And maybe we just go there today and talk about how any type of media you consume, whether that be reading, whether that be video games, whether that be television, whether that be a podcast or listening to someone else, it does not matter what you're listening to. Well, let me rephrase. What's more important is the intentions you have with the media you're interacting with. So, for example, reading. If we go into reading with the intention to learn and digest, we're going to be more likely to write in the margins, annotate, so we can take the information we have, consolidate it into our own understanding of it, and then absorb it into our own being to use later on. That's going in the intention of reading as understanding. Let's take me for example, philosophy, or if you go into a different kind of media, let's say movies or television, and if you go into it with the intention to understand the human experience, then you're more likely to partake and engage in what you're listening to more often than if you're just there to be a passive observer to enjoy it. So, and then one other thing, and also with movies and with books, aside from the attention, how you actually retain the information you're not retain, but how you consume and digest the information that is coming to you, or the ideas that are being processed, is not just as that passive bystander as of osmosis. The easiest way is to actually speak it like I'm doing now. So reading a section and speaking out loud and trying to explain what you just read, or you just watched to someone else. Someone like my widow figure, Power from Chainsaw Man. Not the person, it was a random box, and I just randomly got Power. I could have done anyone else beside Power, but I love her nonetheless. But speaking to a figure, pretending it's a 6-year-old, so you have to simplify your language down to, or is it sixth grader? Sixth grader, my bad. For a sixth grader to understand. So you simplify your language, and by doing that, you get to the bare basics of what you know and what you don't know. And if you can't explain what you want to explain to a sixth grader, maybe you have to go back and rewatch something or reread something to better understand it and then do it again. Another way is to write it down. So writing it down puts your thoughts, what you think you know, into actual the device of words. And this is another avenue that I'm thinking about right now is how much is our knowledge part of... Let me explain. So, do we have more knowledge in our brains, in our minds, in our thoughts, yet are unable to explain those experiences through the means we have available that are skills? So, for example, talking and speaking is a skill. It's a skill you learned as you grow up. Writing is a skill that you had to learn as you grow up. And they're both skills you have to practice at. You don't get better at speaking in front of people and explaining your ideas by not doing it. You do it consistently so that it becomes easier and easier to say, okay, this idea, I'm going to simplify it down so I can explain it. That's what Albert Einstein did at the Swiss patent he was at. He had all these new inventions, and he had to simplify the inventions down to 1 or 2 sentences. And he had to do that consistently. So by the time he's doing something like his theory of relativity, he's able to explain it in more simple terms than these complex ideas. And also, he's able to ask the simple questions of why does time have to be consistent? And that's where you get the stumbling blocks. But that's the question I'm thinking about too, is, well, how much is it that we just don't have the skills to explain what we know? Or is it just we lack the knowledge to, or lack the knowledge to actually explain it? Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, but there's things that I'm that keep me on the question. So, for example, great literary movies and works. There's definitely been times in my life where I've seen a movie and I've walked out of there and was like, man, that was great. Oh my God. And then someone would ask me, oh, why is it great? And I would just say, well, this character was good. And they're like, why is the character good? I was like, I don't know. Oh, they were just awesome. They were good. They're cool. And it's happened multiple times before. And then usually these great movies or literary works, almost most of the people around you also have this same feeling of, oh, it was great, but I really don't know why. And I'm wondering if that's just because we just don't have, well, the understanding, but the ability to piece it together into coherent thought and writing to present it to someone else. And so I think it's a little bit of both. Of you just don't understand what's going on, but there's an underlying human experience that touches almost everyone around you that can be accessed if your skills of speaking and writing and your understanding is great enough. So I think there's a limit for both. So you may understand something fully, but don't lack the skills of writing and speaking to actually present it to someone else. And that's That's sad. But it's vice versa. You might have, oh, I have a hook crack. Something stuck in my teeth. But you might also have the skills, the writing skills and the speaking skills to present your ideas as in a fluid and clear and precise manner. But you might just not, might lack the understanding of it. So I think knowledge and experience and the ways of explaining the world and your experiences comes in twofold. It's the skills you have, the speaking and writing, and it's also just the general understanding of what you're experiencing. And that might be a big part of that is perspective. How many perspectives are you tackling this issue on? Another one might be background. So the big one is perspective, background, what background knowledge do you have to present and to this literary work. So for example, I just was talking with someone about Jane Eyre, and she said that there's almost every other sentence is a reference to some other great work. Well, if you don't have that background information of, let's say, have read the Bible or have ever read Dante's Inferno or you've read Milton, if you don't have this background information, your understanding of Jane Eyre is going to be much different than someone who does have that background information. So it's the background knowledge and your perspective, probably some other things that form your understanding of works. So your understanding and also your writing and reading examples contribute to how you present your information to everyone around you, and also their opinions and judgments on, do you actually know what you're doing, what you're saying. So just interesting, a little interesting. I never really thought about it like that, but that's why I do the vlogs, so I can think through my own thoughts and think through different philosophical issues that I'm coming across, and like we were talking about today, to refine my speaking skills. So you're helping with that. I appreciate you, and I'm done for today. And I won't see you tomorrow, so I'll see you Monday. Bye.